Why do we allow our government to treat us so poorly? It doesn't make sense. We're the richest nation in the world. We have the largest military in the world. We have the biggest idiots in the government in the world. I mean, if you're going to run up a deficit, why not take care of the citizens? Why let people be homeless? Veterans homeless. People can't get work. Robots replacing our jobs. Sending all the jobs overseas. Taking criminals and putting them in penals, in jails, in prisons, where they don't even try to re-educate them. They don't try to train them in a trade. They don't let them go to college. You can barely get a book in jail. They don't try to help anybody become a better person. They don't try to stop crime. Wonder why? Maybe because they make billions of dollars a year off putting people in prison? Why is marijuana a class 1 narcotic? It definitely has medical usages. There's a lot of doctors will tell you there's been studies that show that marijuana helps people with cancer. It helps them with their appetite. It helps people with depression. There's a lot of medical uses for marijuana. Glaucoma. A class 1 narcotic has no medical purpose. Now, alcohol, for instance. Is there a medical purpose for alcohol? Is there? Can you think of one? I can't. Unless beating your wife is a good, maybe your wife's a really bad person and needs beat up. I personally believe that if a man beats up a woman, he should go to jail. But most domestic violence are committed while men are drinking. But alcohol is perfectly legal. On the other hand, the only thing a person's going to mess up when they're smoking weed is a Twinkie rack. They're might whoop little Debbie's ass, but their wife are safe. Now, it should be treated just like alcohol. It should be sold in a dispensary. You should have to show an ID, make sure you're of legal age to make a proper decision to smoke marijuana or eat it or however you want to do it. Psychedelic mushrooms have medical use. They should be legal. You should be able to go to a pharmacy, go to a doctor, go to a pharmacy, and get prescribed medical mushrooms, medical marijuana. In every state, it's common sense. But do you think the liquor lobbyists will allow that? Costs them too much money. Think about how much money's made off liquor. Think how much money each state would make just off taxing marijuana. Think about that for a second. Put that money in the public education system, where, by the way, they do nothing but teach our children lies, fake history. I think we all have an obligation to vote people into our government that are going to do right by our citizens, that are going to help the disenfranchised, that are going to help the poor, that are going to help the homeless. Not people that are going to give billionaires and big corporation tax breaks. What is this, 1988? Is this Ronald Reagan's trickle-down economics? Is that what we're working with? Because that didn't work last time. Why is it going to work now? You got to build if you build a house and you start from on the roof, is that house going to be a very good house? No. You build a country just like you build a house. You start at the bottom. You build the foundation. The foundation of a country is its people. Build up the people, and the country will be stronger. Don't make America great again. America's never been that great. Make America better than it's ever been. Do that. Try that for once. And while we're on the subject, why don't we try this? We don't use the college system where each state gets a number of collegiate votes so that they can decide who the president is. Why don't each state vote for one person that they think would make the best president? And then out of all of the states, these men, they have a debate. And we do it like a game show. And when the last man standing, he can be president. And you know what they used to do back in the day? The guy that come in second got to be vice president. Isn't that crazy? So, if the first guy died, the second most qualified person would be the president. That would be crazy, huh? And by the way, let's do away with all this insider trading in Senate and Congress. I think it should be illegal for any senator or congressman to be able to trade at the stock market because they know what's going to happen in the stock market before it happens. That's called insider trading. Let's put somebody over the top of the Supreme Court that tells them when they break the law it's illegal. And for that matter, why should a Supreme Court judge get to be a judge for life? It should have a term just like the presidency. All politicians, I don't care what you're voted into, judge, sheriff, senator, congressman, president, 4 years max term, new election. If you don't do a good job, your butt's out of there. Let's try that for a change. That's a real democratic country. Let's do it like that. That's just my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Take it as you may.